You have now entered the championship mindset. I want you to join us on a journey of excellence, let go of your fears, and reach the best you. That's what we're doing on a daily basis, and that's the championship mindset. That's the essence. In this next segment, we're going to be talking about office politics. Everyone experiences workplace stress. I think until you've reached a certain level of the work that we're engaged in, which is harmony, which is happiness, even through the work, then you're going to have to understand how to navigate workplace dynamics. You're going to have to learn to win in adverse situations, which can be social in nature, in ways that you can just leave the game. You're talking about relationships, friendly or romantic, and you get to a conflict of communication, or you lack a harmony of mutual growth, and you break up. And this happens in the workplace as well. But people tend to be compelled to stay in a stressful workplace environment, in a toxic workplace environment, in dynamics that they can't always easily escape, whether that be, the comfort that a certain, monetary value can sustain, a lifestyle that you have come accustomed to that you don't want to lose as you lose a job, or it can be, a lack of passion and growth, in which you are at a workplace that doesn't allow you to elevate, doesn't allow you to learn, in a way that a place where you spend 40, 50, 60 hours a week, is the instrument of your stagnation. Something that we need to value in life is time. The next thing that we need to kind of couple with that are opportunities, because you can sacrifice time for opportunities. You can sacrifice windows in your life for goals, that are possible and on your plan. But if you lack the connection between how your profession, how your career, how your job is shaping your character, or enhancing your true purpose in life, fulfillment, actualization, harmony, legacy, then it's an obstacle. That profession becomes an obstacle that needs to be addressed. That dynamic, that game that you're playing in the workplace needs to be understood and won with the understanding of the tools that you have, the opportunities, the variables, all the things that you are going to need to know and navigate your strengths in a way that allows you to succeed in the workplace. So if you cannot leave, and sometimes, we find the easy way out. And again, that comes back to a championship mindset. Are you going to always avoid the conflict? Are you going to always avoid the opportunity to take yourself somewhere new, to learn something new, so that you can, you can succeed in these situations, that provide, a pathway to greatness just on the other side of that obstacle. And that can be a person in your office. That can be a boss that you have. That can be, these glass ceilings, or these real ceilings of oppression, tyranny, or just, dynamics of a profession, again, that don't allow you to explore your art, in everyday things, in your work duties, and the actions that you're going to be taking day in and day out. So you become, oppressed, you become depressed, you become unable to be your best self because of workplace dynamics. So I am telling you and us that we have to play the game. And when you're talking about office politics, when you're talking about getting ahead, you got to play to win. I have really kind of taken an approach to take wisdom from different places and apply it in my everyday life. And the teachings, the literature, the body of work from Machiavelli, especially the Prince and some of his treatises and excerpts that I've come across as far as dynamics of power are something that I think everybody who's engaged in tiered systems of power in a workplace or these tiered systems in social arenas as well. You have to understand people and psychology and sociology and what moves others, and how you can be an impetus of someone moving or sustaining, encouraging someone, all those things in order to improve your situation, because the game is going to be played anyway. And if you are going to be at a workplace and, somebody who has greater power than you can come and impose a tyranny in a very micro aggression or persistently micromanaging, format that constrains you, and you don't address it in a way that is effective, then you will shrink. Your power will shrink. And if it shrinks in the workplace, a place that you spend so much time at, it shrinks in other aspects of your life. So it's really hard to find that joy when you're going to a place every day and having it systematically stamped or stomped. You have got to open up your shoulders. You have got to pick up your chin with the teachings of a championship mindset to play this office game effectively as well. And I'll tell you some things that I do. Anytime I come into a new job, I've done this several times since I've really kind of shifted from being less intentional to intentional about all the things that impact my happiness, my health, wealth, and my happiness. Something that I do every single time I go to a new job is in the first week or two, I have a sit down meeting with my supervisor on my terms, and it's systematic. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, is this a good window to speak? I have some things I want to share with you. If this is a good opportunity, do you mind if I close the door? And really set that tone that, hey, I have something to tell you. I have something a space of understanding to open up with you. And I want to offer you an ability to let me know how I can be successful here in a way that also respects these boundaries of me as a human and as a professional and as a learner and as someone who is going to be here, as a stop every single day, to service, my ability to come to work and serve, whether that be production, whether that be actual service, whether that be, any other ways that people earn a living, is usually through giving. That company, that entity giving something of value in an exchange. So once you understand the dynamic that all interactions are an exchange, then you can bring your value to a workplace and establish a relationship, a power dynamic that is mutual in a way that is forthcoming in a that shows that initiative to a supervisor, a boss, in a way that elevates you in their eyes, and also allows you to understand what is the mandate here. What are you expecting from me as an employee here, to come in here and accomplish every day, so that I can focus on those things? And how do I understand what the parameters are? Do we have a same understanding, employee, supervisor, to the parameters of how I'm successful, what I have at my disposal, what I don't have at my disposal, the places I can take initiative, the places where I need to check, and create this space for you where you can come in to a workplace and be creative. You can come into a workplace and be yourself. You can come into a workplace and understand that you bring your humanity to that employee dynamic. And the place that job or career holds in your greater arc of self-understanding, self-actualization. Am I doing this to learn and build my resume so that I can achieve greater? Back to this incremental aspect of goal achievement and success, right? I'm working with a championship mindset of passion exploration. This job allows me to achieve, allows me a medium of success and accomplishment through my passion exploration. That really changes the way you show up to work. And if you show up to work differently and you bring this air of passion, and I'm here to improve this group, I'm here to improve this system, I can do my part. I can at times do even more than my part if I feel safe and protected making a mistake. If I feel safe and protected taking initiative. Even though that style might have been different. Is that encouraged? And if it's not, how do I communicate with the workplace in a way that it can improve? And I feel like people always go into a workplace, or often go into a workplace, feeling powerless, feeling like I have to do in order to, maintain. I can't say no. I wanted to do that, but this dynamic is keeping me from moving. So again, you come back and you find yourself at work, not moving forward, and it can start with a conversation with your boss. It can start with a conversation with your coworker, and if you are finding purpose in all the little things in life, then you can take that growth mindset to work. So, in addition to understanding your mandate with your supervisor, and I say supervisor instead of boss because, who really rules you? I tend to not think of bosses as being anybody but my close-knit family. My kids are the only one. My wife, they can have this like, hey, I'm in need of this, meet this need in this timely fashion because I have such a strong connection to their happiness and their needs. I tend not to extend that level of commitment in a lack of harmony. So I tend to not extend that commitment to people in spaces that don't have that mutual love for me and my growth. And I think this is another mistake people make in the office place. They give too much of themselves when you need to give the value that is mutually agreed upon. Give the extra value that is going to be recognized, or you are going to advocate for recognition, but don't find yourself giving more in a cycle of stagnation without recognition, and taking that lack of joy home to the people that really love you. And if you understand your power and you understand your ability to affect positively through an impassioned lifestyle of work and service, then you understand that your real boss are your loved ones waiting for you at home, and your workplace is a mutual exchange of value. So have those conversations with your boss, your supervisor. Have those conversations with your coworkers in a way that improves your dynamic and enhances your ability to be successful and enhances their ability to be successful. This is why people who play sports are such great teammates in a office dynamic, and why applying the same components of leadership is such a great fuel for success in the workplace, because it's that sacrifice for a shared goal. And people that play sports and have that team dynamic tend to be able to come into a workplace, understand their role, understand their, what their job is, and fulfill it, and find passion and joy in that application. Doing those two things, being able to sit down and understand what's expected of you, making sure you have the resources to achieve those expectations so that you can get that recognition of success at the workplace, that becomes a very invigorating, opportunity to validate who you are through work, through your profession, through your career, through what you do for people, on an everyday basis. And I guess the last thing you have to do is how do you watch out for the snakes in your workplace? How do you keep yourself from being bogged down in negativity and tension and conflict in a way that's not productive? There can be healthy conflict. I think conflict is necessary, but there are players that engage in this game that is not based in a foundation of success. You have players across game theory, and no matter the games, you have players who don't understand, who are playing without purpose, who don't, recognize how the game works. And if you are somebody who wants success and you have a team of for lack of a better word, and since we're talking about game theory, losers, people who don't understand growth, people who don't understand communal success, then they pull you down, and they pull entire entities, businesses, shops down, because there's not enough leadership at the top or at the bottom, so to speak, of that community, of that workplace system, and whatever value they were trying to impress upon its customer base is going to see the ramifications of a poor team of people who are applying that service with a lack of passion. So you owe it to yourself to speak up. You owe it to the team to speak up. You owe it to the legacy of who you are to engage in leadership and a championship mindset, and apply the elements of championship culture in your workplace. As you do those things and you find that passion in work, you find that passion in your career, I think you will find the joys that come with an impassioned life, the joys that come from giving your all to something and someone else and getting that return, of acceptance, not in a way of vanity, but in a way that validates positively in your heart. That was worth it. It's in the smile of the customer. It's in the smile of your coworker that you kind of supported. It's in the accolades that you have earned, the increase in value that often in the workplace comes from money, but intrinsically comes from knowing that you are living your life with purpose. Get in the chat, ask questions. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Be your best self. Be a champion.